Welcome to Cafes and Connections. Today we're joined with Deepak Sirwani. Hi Deepak, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, Hannah?
I'm doing well. So what's your go-to loaf order?
I usually go with the cappuccino, but I'm not a big fan of the cappuccinos. So I also try to do some matcha latte like I did right now.
Okay, yeah, it's a beautiful drink. So.
Yeah, it is. It is. The matcha is strong, so I like that. Yeah.
Okay.
What
nice.
about you?
I always just go with a chai latte.
A chai
I'm a
latte?
classic. Yeah, I've tried coffee before, but I find that it makes me shake. So
Oh yeah, I
chai
can't do
latte's
coffee
okay.
after 4 p.m. It
Yeah.
shakes.
Okay, so we have a couple of questions for you. Can you share a moment when you saw your research on how people interpret numbers in real life?
Yeah, sure. So one funny incident happened a few months ago. I was sitting with my friend and she wanted to plan a Valentine's getaway with her boyfriend. And we were doing listing searches on two platforms parallelly. So on one platform, she found a listing which had a rating in terms of numbers, 3.5. And on the same time, on a different platform, she found the similar listing with a star rating 3.5. So 3 stars and the 4-star half filled. And she kept saying that she likes this other listing more with the star rating. And I kept arguing they are exactly the same rating, very similar. And she was like, no, it feels like 4. And that moment I felt like, oh my God, this is exactly my research, that 3.5 stars feel like 4 stars.
Yeah.
And she was succumbing to this bias, let's say that bias.
Yeah.
And I told her about my research and we were laughing about it. So that was one cute moment that I saw that my friend was falling or behaving in accordance with my research. In a more broad way, I also saw that Amazon has started experimenting with using different rating formats over the last year. So they usually would do star images all the time, but now they're using stars and numbers both, sometimes just numbers. So it's interesting that industry is taking notice that rating formats matter and they can change how people process ratings and how easy is it to process ratings. So yeah, it's good that I'm working on a topic that is important both for consumers and for industry.
I guess kind of a follow-up, how do you think we can see through that, like these little tricks that we might see happening?
This research is an unconscious process, so it's very difficult to see that you're falling prey to this. But once you have read the research, hopefully, and then you would be more mindful of it, probably reducing the extent of the bias. But without knowing about the effect, when we call this the visual completion effect, because our brain completes a partial image to a full image. And without knowing about this effect, it's tough to noticing that you are falling prey to this.
Yeah, that makes sense. So with AI transforming many industries, how do you see your field evolving over the next decade?
Yeah, we are at the cusp of a groundbreaking shift with AI. So many conversations are extremely new, and these questions we were not faced with these questions as to how do we find meaning in our lives if AI can take over a lot of traditional tasks? How do we stay creative and fulfilled? So I love to ask these questions and think about them and also engage with students about it. And specifically as a teacher at Sauder, how do we change learning? What kind of assignments do we give to students with AI being there for them to help? And my overall outlook is not negative. I come from a very curious angle that our world is changing, and I want to dig deeper into these questions, both from a research point of view and also how do I teach differently in the classroom. So I'm excited about this new world, and it's a world with a lot of possibilities, and I stay curious about how AI will change our world. And we are all yet to see. I don't want to make predictions. We will see how people find new jobs and find meaning in their lives. And also social connections. How do we connect with each other can also change with AI.
Yeah, definitely. I would say I kind of was really scared when AI was first happening. I was like, I'm never going to use this. This is scary. But you kind of have to embrace and move with the times and, see how you can take advantage from these tools and what you can learn from them. So
I think it's very nice that you use the word tool. I've been using it as a tool a lot, and it has made me more efficient. As a non-native English speaker, it is extremely helpful to just check my writing and to check my thoughts. And also I use it as a brainstorming assistant for research. So it has been a tool which has really improved my efficiency so far. As long as about taking our jobs and all, we'll see what happens.
Now let's jump into some rapid fire questions. In terms of research, what are you more interested in, numbers or time?
I'd say magnitude, because both numbers and time eventually boil down to magnitude representations in our brain. So I'm very excited about just to understand how we represent magnitude and make decisions around that.
Are you a morning person or a night owl?
So I sleep every day around midnight and wake up at 8:30 a.m. I love sleeping. I need my 8.5 hours. So I don't know what that makes me, morning or night. You take a guess.
I don't know. I guess like a good even balance. What's one word you would use to describe your teaching style?
I'd say interactive. I love back and forth and develop a friendly connection with my students, and that can spark real insight in the classroom.
So we heard that you recently got interested in EDM music. Can you share your favorite track with us?
Yeah, I've been listening to this track for a few months now. I discovered it from Rufus Du Sol's Burning Man playlist. The track is called Yuma. I actually have it on my phone if you want to listen.
Yeah, that would be great.